Welcome back to Notreelfishing, everybody, and today we're going to be fishing some saltwater. There's a lot of vultures out here for some reason. I don't know if it's because we've had such cold weather. Maybe a lot of fish have died, but there's definitely a carcass on the beach. Looks like, I don't know, it's probably a redfish that somebody harvested illegally because it looks kind of small. Actually, you know what? That actually looks like a big old, not a pompano, but like a, I can't remember the name. But there's that one. There's fish heads everywhere. One, I don't know. That looks like a whiting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whiting heads. Maybe somebody was out here crabbing and that was what they were using as bait, and they ran out. I don't know, but it's kind of weird. I checked the tide. It said it was supposed to be high tide at 12, and if you ask me, this looks pretty low considering I'm usually up to my ankles standing here. But yeah, that's really interesting. Maybe I read it backwards and high tide's actually at 1:30 and low tide was at 12. I'm not real sure, but it is kind of cool to be able to come under here and see what the bottom is like. We're going to be going over to a little channel that we normally fish here, and we'll be fishing that because it stays deep there pretty consistently, and I've actually had pretty good luck there on a rising tide, but right now it looks like it's still falling. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and walk over that way and check it out. All the oyster beds are exposed, but it's kind of nice to get out here and not have to worry about getting my feet soaked. Normally when I'm out here, it's just completely soaked with water. This is the only spot I've really fished on this channel besides one other, which I could go to, but because of how low it is, I'd have to wait out, and I'd rather not. Definitely a lot of minnow activity in the water, and you guys can't really see it. All y'all can see is marsh grass, but yeah, when we get up here to this little point, I'll show you a little better view of what we're working towards. It's not really a long walk, it's just kind of a pain to walk here because it's all these little oyster beds over there they put out for structure for oysters and to keep the sand from washing down and stuff like that. Shotgun shell. But yeah, this is the lowest I've ever seen it out here. We do have the hand reel. We're going to be using the same shrimp we're using. Well, don't know if I'm going to upload that video because I didn't catch anything. And if the day goes really well, I'm probably not going to. All it was is me going to our normal freshwater spot in the hopes to get some catfish. Nothing turned up. But see, this little spot here is a spot I normally fish. I usually catch quite a few fish here, but not today. It's so low. I've never seen it this low before. It's kind of cool. This is normally a little rock bottom that I fish. I actually caught a red drum over here. Not on camera, of course, but I have caught red drum over here. I was casting out from right over there on those oysters with a whatchamacallit, what's that spoon? Not a Castmaster. I was using a Castmaster Gold, which is a little red. Actually, no, I take that back. I was using a golden crocodile spoon with a little piece of crappie tubes hooked onto the back of the hook. It was a green tube or a red tube with the green sparkle tendrils on the back, like a skirt, I guess would be the word for it. That's what I was using. Man, I've never seen it this low. This is really cool. Because normally I have to walk up there in the marsh grass. Now I can just walk in the sandy bottom. All these oyster shells, crab pots. I've actually snagged on those before. Probably bet you some of my lures are probably on this thing. a bunch of little fish underneath it. Really cool to be able to get out here and see it like this. Hopefully the water's still warm enough that we're gonna catch fish. We've had a few days where it's been getting cold. I do still see little minnows, so that's a good sign that the fish are still here. When it gets to be the dead of winter, I'll walk down here and there's nothing but just dead calm water, nothing moving. And that usually means that the fishing's pretty much dead. But that's a cool looking oyster shell. But yeah, man, I've never been able to walk down here. I've caught some fish over here, but never been able to walk it. This is a lot nicer than having to stand in the... This spot might start looking familiar to y'all in a minute. This is that little creek I fished pretty much every saltwater video, but this is my favorite thing, this little beach. So I normally stand on or fish off this little drop off that's here. This is normally where I, stand. But I think we're gonna go ahead and get rigged up. We're gonna go ahead and throw out our bottle fishing, or not a bottle, our hand line, get it sitting on the bottom and soaking. I might rig up the Tenkara rod and walk around with it while we let that settle, and we'll get it started. So on our first rig, we're gonna have a sliding sinker to a piece of squid with a fairly large hook, and hopefully we can get something to eat it. Give that a little bit of slack. I'm just gonna set it down in. Feels like something might be messing with our line here. It's probably just a crab. Yeah. So on our hand line, I changed out from that really big hook with the steel leader to a circle hook. Hopefully if something swallows it, all we have to do is start reeling in, and that'll help us set the hook. Because with a regular hook, you kind of have to keep tension on the line and then pull it to set it. With this, you don't really have that problem. We do. Ah! Finally hooked one of these little boogers. That's what's been stealing our bait, tearing our stuff up into little pieces. Now, I could use this guy's live bait, but it's not really anywhere deep enough to do so besides this one little section, and it seems kind of pointless. So, we're gonna let the booger go. He didn't want to leave apparently. I'm gonna check our hand line real quick, make sure we still have bait on it. Just to give it a check. Our bait is still there. Barely, but there. It's also all kinds of tangled up. Gooey, nasty nasty mess. Better. We're gonna fish this side. Maybe we'll have better luck over here. Go figure, I finally get a bite and my GoPro had died. Got him on the bottle rig, not the handline rig, but just the regular bottle rig. Just little turd, little pinfish, absolutely tiny. It's like a crab pinched him on the tail. It's a little red right there. Enjoy your day, little guy. Well, we hooked another pinfish, and he had a bad trip with it. He swallowed the hook and it went right through his eye. See if I can get it without getting him too hurt. Yeah, I think he's gonna be all right. There you go, bud. Nice little pinfish on surprisingly large hook. But yeah. Getting a nibble here, guys. Bait might be gone, but false alarm, I guess. I don't know if we're snagged, guys, or what, but we got something on here. Oh my lord, we have the king of crabs. Look at the size of him. Come back, dude. That crab was ginormous. Maybe he'll come back. The bait's still there. We'll see. Well, guys, after seeing the size of that crab, I think maybe our next video is I'll come out here crabbing. I have the kind of crabbing baskets that have the different things sticking off the edges, and you just kind of pull it tight and it closes on their legs. I haven't tried it on a hand reel before. And I've also got a crab pot, which we could throw out when we get here. But we'll give it a whirl, see what happens next time. Anyway, I'm gonna keep on trying to catch this big crab. If I get him, I'll cut the camera back on. Alright guys, I'm running out of time here. The tide is coming up, which is a good sign. I'm gonna put the Tenkara rod away for now. Ouch. For a couple reasons. One, it's still kind of windy. And two, I don't really have time on my GoPro to be consistently recording while fishing with it. So all I can really do is hopefully keep my handline rigs out, and if I catch a hook of fish, I can cut the camera on and see what we got. Otherwise, we're gonna run out of time in about 5 minutes. I don't want to delete the footage because what I like to do is when I catch a fish, I'll kind of cut the GoPro off after I release it, and then I'll what's the word I'm looking for? And then I'll cut it back on so I can edit it later easier, and I know, okay, in this clip, which is 5 minutes, I call it one fish, and this one's 6 minutes, as opposed to just one long, hour-long recording. But I kind of forgot while we're using this thing, when I caught that 1 or 2 on it, and I don't know when that was, and I don't want to delete like a 45-minute long section because, I don't know why I threw that over there, because I don't want to delete any potential catches that I had. Not that we've had very many, mind you, but it just makes it more important for the few that I have. So, yeah. I still gotta do my outro too.